Greg, a Christian, Alex O'Connor, an atheist, and Dr. K, a psychiatrist, recently had a debate about God, religion, and meaning. Each had a different lens, trying to answer the same timeless question: what makes life meaningful? But as the discussion unfolds, something deeper emerges. It's not just about who's right, it's about what truth really means.
You went to the doctor and you weren't feeling well, and the doctor gave you a pill, and then you went home and you took the pill, then you felt better. I think it would be appropriate for you to say, well, that pill, taking that pill, going to that doctor, had something to do with my experience that I'm having right now.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is why I think it might have unintentionally been an overstatement on your part, because I think, just like your friend, Stephen, who in Dubai all of a sudden became a Christian, everything changed, okay? Well, I guess you could say the change of life isn't maybe knock down, drag down proof that what he believes now is actually true, big P, big T.
That like Jesus rose from the dead.
It seems to be, pardon me?
That like Jesus rose from the dead. It's got no bearing on whether that's true or not.
Well, I'm speaking of a different thing right now. I'm thinking about the experience now with God that he's having. If he's having this changed life, this is evidential. This lends credibility to the belief system that he's now adopted, because it created this particular significant change in his life. It may not be proof, and that word is really an loosey-goosey word, just how to pin down. But nevertheless, it still seems to be evidential. It speaks to the legitimacy and accuracy and truthfulness of the belief system that produced this changed life.
If you notice here, Greg, the religious older gentleman seems to believe that Christianity has a monopoly on the greatest good. His argument is that because people experience positive benefits from Christianity, that must mean Christianity itself is true.
That's what I'm saying.
It's only evidence that belief in that thing makes someone feel more fulfilled. That's the only thing it's evidence of.
Okay, so this is where we differ.
Alex, the atheist, responds by pointing out that just because a belief produces good outcomes doesn't mean the belief itself is true. In a sense, they're both right. If people genuinely benefit from a belief system, it makes sense to examine that system to understand why those good results occur.
You're saying just because they believe it, this makes them better. It doesn't mean that the belief is actually sound.
Greg, I've got a good way of coming at this then. So
this is where we differ.
That's right.
If I had 5 friends and they all picked 5 different religions and they all felt the same thing that my friend did in Dubai, where they all felt better for it, is that evidential that all 5 religions are true?
The host then asks a good question. If we see people benefiting from different religions, doesn't that point to them all being rooted in the same truth that Greg claims Christianity is rooted in?
Well, see, I don't actually think it works that way. You can speculate and say and offer that illustration, but I don't think it actually works that way. I think that universally the experience of Christians is very, very quantifiable.
So in
terms
scenario,
of transformed lives, and this is one of the reasons that these transformed lives lend credibility to the belief system itself.
So in that scenario where one of my friends turns to Islam, one of my friends turns to Christianity, etc., the only experience that's evidential of truth is the Christians.
Well, I think you have to look at every individual thing, all right? And here's my suspicion, and I haven't quantified this across the board, all right? Different people have different experiences by engaging different religious belief traditions, whatever. But insofar as anybody's life is significantly altered by that thing, this to me is evidence that something is going on here than merely the belief. If it's just the belief, you're back to Marx again and the opiate of the people.
This is where I see Greg, the Christian, going off track in assuming Christianity alone has a monopoly on goodness. In reality, we see people thriving within many different traditions and belief systems. If you argue that the fruits of a system prove its truth or goodness, then you must apply that same logic to all traditions that produce positive results, not just one. This leads to the idea that, just like multiple sources of water can hydrate a person physically, multiple spiritual or philosophical traditions can hydrate the human soul. The key is finding the one that best helps you live a good and moral life in this world. It also points toward a larger idea that all religions and philosophies are, in essence, pointers, arrows directing us toward a common destination. That destination being the true Holy Grail, which is good judgment that leads to human flourishing, both individually and collectively. And that's where we arrive at the idea of walking the modern path. It's not about allegiance to one dogma. It's about learning from many. Just as a good architect wouldn't limit themselves to one book or one country's ideas about architecture. Rather, they'd seek out multiple ideas from all over the world to understand their craft as deeply as possible. So too, a seeker of wisdom draws from multiple traditions and books, combining the best insights from each. This is called the modern path. Tell me what you thought about this debate, and please like or subscribe.